All right, hey friends, welcome to the live stream. So today we're going to check out my new minimalist beatmaking setup. Really, it's just the SP404 Mark II and the M2 iPad Air. I recently upgraded from, what was it, a 2017 iPad Pro, and I like to use my gear for as long as I can. So I decided to get the M2 iPad Air instead of the Mini, which is what I was originally thinking about because of the USB-C, which we'll talk about, and then also the M chip, which is super powerful if I ever decide to use Logic on the iPad or anything like that. I just think it has a longer shelf life, shall we say. But thanks for joining. Let me know how you're doing, what you're up to today. I posted a poll asking if you use iOS apps in your beat making. 50% said yes, 17 said no, and 33% said I'm thinking about it. So very interesting. Hopefully I can show you basically why I bought this, why I'm using this opposed to like my usual setup, which is behind me. Because I love the DAW-less setup, I even love working in a DAW, but I'm a new parent, and so I have very little time getting in the studio. So because of that, I had to kind of make this, and it actually works really well. As you can see, I'm using GarageBand right now in here, which is a free app, but it's super powerful. Don't underestimate GarageBand, and I'll show you why. But I posted a poll. You all wanted to see synthwave. It was pretty close between synthwave and lo-fi, so I'll try to throw in some lo-fi aspects. We'll see though what happens. You know, we're live, so we'll see what happens. But at the end, I'm gonna go over some apps. I got a few questions on that poll about what apps I'd recommend, and I'll show you one to basically turn anything into ambient drone if you're looking like it. And I'm seeing the polls changing a little bit more. Another yes vote, so nice to see. Let me know how you're doing though in the chat. Man Von Mond is in there. Hello, how's it going, MVM? Let me know. So let's see. So I just made a quick chord progression because I'm not the best iPad keyboard player. We might have to do that in a bit, but it's the stock sound. We're gonna do some sound design on here. This is that epic cloud formation. And if you don't mind, let me know how the volume is. I tried testing it, but you never know with live if you can hear me over the iPad. But so what we're gonna do first is just test out some sounds. Nice thing is we can use the stock sounds. There's tons of free updates they add for GarageBand where they add tons of different sounds. So let's just check out what we can do. So Digital Dream State, that's from 8-Bit Legends. Let's see. It's all right, and we can even add some effects on the SP. And I mean, we can use external apps as well in here, which is another nice addition. If we go to, I think it's audio unit extensions. Yeah, we can use a bunch of different ones. So let's do maybe, I'm thinking we'll do King of FM. Let's just see what we get with that. So we should be able to, so yeah, we've got that sound. So let's go back to the other page. We'll just move that sound over there. Lower the volume a little. And we can do, let's see if we've got any other, we can change that. We could go here, yeah, filter. Add some chorus. But we are doing synthwave, so I'm gonna record in, I like that sound as like a key. And I'm also thinking maybe we do like a pad, and we'll use that alchemy for that. So I'm gonna just copy this and paste it up on the top. And then let's mute that King of FM. And that's an AudioKit Pro app. It's free. They've also got a couple other free ones. I highly recommend checking out anything from AudioKit Pro because their free stuff is awesome. And it works on iPhones and all that stuff. I'm not sure. I see MVM says in there that they use Android. I don't know if they're on Android. I think some are, some aren't. But I'd still check AudioKit Pro. But let's go back to the stock sounds in Alchemy, because Alchemy is a crazy synth, and all these different things that they've added. I think Alpha Waves is a new one for ambient sounds. I had found one earlier that was really cool. Dreamy Plux. I think that was it. Yeah, that should work. That should be good. I'd like to get a little more high end though on it. Let's see. Yeah, I think we can. There we go. Just seeing if we can get a little bit more. All right, that's fine. We'll use it as it is. We'll use that. And so we're just going to hit record. So I've got just a USB-C cable going into USB-C on the SP, and then SP, it's only mono right now going into my audio interface because we're live. It's going to be, you know, all the audio quality and stuff like that. So we'll just do it that way. But I'm going to just go into record. We're going to do 108 BPM because this is also at 108. We're doing synthwave. So I like 107, 110 for that type of sound. And then I've got it set. Something new in the 4.04 update is you can set the measures for how much you want to record. I'm going to do 4, and then we'll see how it turns out. But you'll also see they've added this little audio level too. So let's go here. I've got it on record wait, so it won't play until I hit play. But it might have been weird because I didn't start it on that click. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's going to be off. That's my bad, but let's see. I think it's all right. Okay, there's a little pop at the end. We'll go shift envelope or pitch speed, and we'll just add a little bit of that. Now, one thing we could do if we wanted to change the BPM or if we wanted to repitch and things like that, I could just chop this. If we go to shift chop or start end and shift, you can do an auto mark, or you could just mark it on your own. But since it's set to a measure or 4 measures, we could do, what is it, time division, and just do 4 because it's only 4 chords. Well, plus those other 2 little notes, but we could do that, and then you'll see. So if we need to, we can do that, but that's a nice way to kind of, if you need to drop the pitch or raise the pitch of something, but you want to keep it in the time you already had or something like that, that's the way to do it. But we'll leave this for right now. And then let me get in that piano sound too. I think we'll just change up the sound a little bit more because it's pretty bright. But we can also do a little bit in the SP, which I think we will do. Let me just see what other sounds we've got here. I hit the wrong button. Let's open that back up. Okay, so I'm just going to see what other options we could do. Let's add this other layer. Yeah, I like that. Let's add a little filter LFO. And you can see it move. That will just give it a little modulation, which I really like. We'll just get a little modulation going on. And then now, we'll let that keep playing, and I'm going to add some effects. Let's try... It's getting a little noisy with that 404. But I like it. We'll save this if we ever need to keep going back to it. Super Creamy asks, what synth app is this? This is, oh man, I think it's King of FM from AudioKit Pro. I'll be using a couple different ones, and at the end, I'll run through all the stuff that I would recommend. I got a question on my poll asking what synth apps I recommended, so we'll go through that. Also, the way I made this chord progression is a really interesting app that I think everybody should check out. But yeah, Mark says Apple GarageBand. I am using GarageBand, but this app is an external app. It's King of FM from AudioKit Pro. AB's also in the chat. What's going on? Curtis, what's going on? Curtis, how are you? Welcome. Glad to see you, my brother. All right, so let's get this sound in. I think that's good. We've got this nice reverb on there. I'm hearing there's a little too much grit when I do that. Let's go. Wow, that's loud. Hold on. That's because of the drive. Yeah, let's do cassette sim instead of 404. AB asks, is this GarageBand? It is, but again, I just mentioned it. This is King of FM, a free AudioKit Pro app. I'm using it as an external. But yeah, we're in GarageBand. I personally am not the biggest fan of the whole monthly subscription for Logic, so I haven't checked it out yet, but that is one reason I got the M2, to have the ability to get Logic on here if I want it, because I use Logic in the DAW, but that's a one-time purchase that they update tons of times for that one purchase. So I don't know. I'm going to check out the free thing, but for right now, I just made this chord progression rather than having to do it, you know, do the iPad keys. But we'll start moving everything into the SP. That's what we're doing now. I'm just doing some sound design. That's the beauty of this combo, is that you could even add effects in GarageBand and then add more here, but we're just kind of testing the waters here. We could even, might be a little loud, but really lo-fi it. I like that actually. Let me just there's a little too much of that hiss on the, there we go. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's resample that into the SP. We're gonna make everything on the SP. I'm really just using GarageBand for ease of MIDI use. That's basically it. So we'll resample. We already have one. For those who are just joining in, welcome, but we already have this. It's a dreamy pluck synth. And then we're just gonna put in this piano sound, and then I'm gonna use Arturia Spark. I believe it's another free app. I don't think I paid for it, but it's an awesome drum machine. So we'll get some drum sounds in there. And the Crazy Wabbit says, GarageBand can still make it happen. Definitely, yeah. Don't underestimate GarageBand. It's free and they update it constantly with awesome sounds. So it's great to just have it. And like, I'm using it just for the sound design purpose. Like, I'm not even making the music with it. Now let's shut off bus 3 and 4 because that's gonna get loud. Yeah, I like that. And so we baked in that cassette sim, the reverb, and then the 2 sounds on 3 and 4. And then we've also got this chill pad. I think we might need like a more open filter sound. So we might have to do one more sound, but let's get some drums in. We're doing synthwave. That's what the poll was voted for, synthwave. So I think we'll want to get some Lindrum type sounds. And Lindream, this is Arturia Spark. Again, I think it's a free app. I got this a long time ago, but I believe it's free. I'm sorry if that's not right, but there's tons of sounds in here. So we're just gonna sample these in. And I wanna see, cause we could use bus 3 and 4 to kind of give it some oomph. But then when we start using bus 3 and 4 to master, it might kind of get a little too loud. So I think we won't do it. We'll just record in. And again, I'm going to just record a few of these sounds and then we'll just chop it with the auto chop rather than just doing one and then the other and the other. It'll be much quicker. So we're just going to go here. I'm going to put it on 5. Here we go. Let's get the cowbell. Gotta get the cowbell. And I forgot I had it set to the 4 bars, but we actually made it in time. So if we just show the sample, there's everything. So what we'll do is hit Shift, Start, End, so it goes to chop, and we'll do auto mark, and we will go, not time division. I want to do transient, and let's do mid and see if it gets all of them. Okay, so that should work, and then we can move things around a little bit. Let's go assign to pad. We should have enough pad space. I think that's everything. Maybe it didn't get that cowbell. So we might have to do the cowbell again, but let's see. So yeah, we've got it. Okay. And I'm going to just put those on bus 2. Okay. Okay, now that's one problem. Since we did do bus 3 and 4 for this sound, we're going to need to get the volumes. There we go. Yeah, okay. So I don't even know if we'll need most of these sounds. I'm thinking we might be able to use that rim or something for a little bit or something like that. But let's see. Let's go from there. Let's start getting a pad down or a pattern down, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so if you've watched the channel before or any of these live streams, I typically like to build the full idea in one pattern and then just kind of copy and paste by deleting parts in the, or just choosing to not move those over when I copy a pattern. So we'll do that, and I think we're going to need to record a lot more sounds and things like that. Again, this is just a little idea to show kind of the power of having this. It seems minimal. I'm calling it a minimalist setup, but the beauty of the iPad is there's so many different apps and sounds you can use and all that type of stuff that it's almost maximalist, but in the physical world, it's minimalist. I don't know if that even makes sense. Hopefully it does. But yeah, as Curtis says, who needs to pay for stuff? You're right. That's why I'm trying to show as many free apps as I can. I'm not the biggest fan of the paid apps if you can get these free sounds, because it's just nice to have it for free. But there's tons of really good free and paid stuff. If you have any app recommendations, let me know. I'm just looking again at that poll I posted. 16 votes, 50% say yes using iPad apps in your beat making, and 25% say thinking about it, 25% said no. So if you did say yes, let me know your favorite apps. Is it GarageBand? Do you use Logic? I'm curious because I really want to try Logic. That whole like monthly subscription thing just doesn't sit right with me. Let me just show you real quick. There's a couple other really cool sounds. Where was it? In this Arturia. You can kind of see these are all just free sounds that came with it. KR100, let's check that one out. Listen to that snare. That might be nice layered, actually. If we go get out of the pattern, that could be a cool layer. You could kind of put one down. Oh, Crazy Rabbit says iSpark is 20. Bummer. Okay, so maybe I bought this a long time ago, but yeah, it might have been free at some point. Maybe, I don't know. I swear I got this one for free. But either way, if you've got it, it is a really good app. But King of FM is free. Saga 16-bit, I believe, is free. King of Bass is free. Paulstretch, which is that ambient app we'll talk about, that's free. Yeah, and then Sinusidu, I believe, is free too from We Name You Apps. But We Name You Apps makes some really, really cool sounds. Anyways, and tonally, this little one down here, which is how I made this chord progression. I'll show you that one at the end. That one's definitely free, or there's a free version. I never paid for it when I got it. So let's go. I'm going to just open King of FM on its own, just so it's there. But let's get some sounds in. And we may want to record some sounds on top or anything like that. But let's go to pattern, and I think we need to go to E, and we'll go here. And I'm going to start in TR rec mode just to do the 4 on the floor, because I want that to be on grid, like locked in. And I apologize about the sun glare. It's driving me crazy, but yeah, it's 11 a.m. here, so the sun's right. It's just right through that window, so my bad. But anyways, we'll make it through. So let's go in here, and let's go. We'll find the click, you hold sub pad, hit that kick, and we'll go 4 on the floor. And on that last one, we'll put one on 15, so it's there. Okay. Now everything else I'm thinking of doing, not in TR rec mode, but in the real time, because I like to have a little quantized, but get it a little off. Yeah, Crazy Rabbit says the sun glare is free. See, I did bring something free to the table. There we go. Let's go into the pattern, and we'll put this on. Let's get that. Oh, let's get the sound in. Hold on. Can't talk and do it at the same time. Multitasking, not my biggest strong suit, but let's go here. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to go into rehearsal. Nice. There we go. Now am I in rehearsal? Yeah. Okay. So see what other sounds we've got. Okay, let's just get the snare in. kind of want to have like some rim sounds just going in the background. Maybe we can put that in TR-Rec mode. Okay, so we need a bass. So here's what we can do. We can either put a bass from some app, maybe King of Bass, it's in the name, or we could use a sound from Sound Generator. I've got a video all about Sound Generator. So yeah, Super Creamy says some offbeat hits. I like to have a little bit kind of wonk and things like that. I like that kind of offness, and then we might add those rim shots or something to do that. I like to add a little bit of human to the sound, but we'll see. Let's get a bass. Let's find a bass sound that we like. I think we'll do it as a one shot and then go in chromatic mode. But let's see what King of Bass has. So they've got some crazy 808s, but we're not gonna use 808s here. Let's see. Let's find something. Let's see what we've got. Pluck a duck. A lot of them are like ARPs and things like that. I really want just kind of like a not that. Let's see. Retrowave, that could be one. Let's go here. Yeah. Let's go down. I just forgot the what chords I was playing in that thing because I programmed it a while ago, but I know it was, I mean, A sounds good to F. Yeah, actually, I mean, we can always just open GarageBand and see what we were playing. That's one of the beauties of having it as MIDI. Let's see what we were playing. So, if we open that up, go to Edit. So we've got G. Okay, so G to F sharp. And then, yeah, I think it's actually D. I think we're doing some inversions. So, yeah, okay. Let's just get that A sound in and then we'll go from there. So let's go King of Bass. I like that bass sound. I'm gonna just put that in as a one shot and we'll see if we can just make a cool sound from it. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's get that pattern running. That last note that I'm struggling with. I'm hearing like some high notes I want to hit. Let me go back here. Yeah, I want D. we got something there. I just kind of want to like shorten the sound, so we might need to redo this sound. Let me go into the oscillator because I think we're gonna need to just get, yeah, I think a little more pluck and a little attack. There we go. Basically the same, but let's just get that one in and then we'll go from there. Okay. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, here we go. Let's get out of that, go here. Alright, let's just try to record something in. Tom says, hell yeah. Hey Tom, how's it going? Thanks, yeah. Alright, let's get that, let's just try to record that bass line in and see. Actually, before we do that, you don't have to do this. You can always copy things after and choose to not move something over. But let's just copy this one in so we have it free of that bass, just in case. And I'm tempted to put the quantize up, but I kind of want to see what happens if we just keep it down. And yeah, let's just try that. Yeah, see, there we go. We already messed up. Let's just let it run through again and we'll do it again. It's always as soon as you hit record, right, that it just doesn't go. There we go. All right, and I'm just gonna drop the volume a little bit. All right, what are we thinking now? Maybe a lead on top? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, kind of feeling the lead. Let's go to sound generator. And I find, so you can use the bus effects on sound generator, but if you don't want to alter sounds that are already on bus 1 or 2, which like those leads or the synths that I have, cosine or whatever COS is, that's a pretty good sound on its own. And we just need to go up in the octave. Okay, so that works. So I'm not going to use that sound. We're actually going to make a new sound. I just wanted to kind of figure out what we're doing. Let's do pulse or saw. I always like saw waves, or so sawtooth. So let's do that one. So we're going to just hit record. We'll put that on 8 and we'll move that. And then we're just going to drop that. We ran out of space, but we've got a whole other empty bank. So what I'm gonna do, because when you send sounds out from sound generator, unfortunately, to my knowledge at least, you can't have the bus effects. Even if you have them on when you're using sound generator, when you export it, it won't go. So you have to make a new one. So we'll do that real quick. So I want, one of my favorite things when we're doing this is, I already did it on that one app, but I love to have just a little bit of filter modulation on the LFO, just to kind of make it a little more interesting. And let's add some cassette sim, get a little pitch, warble, and things like that. Okay, so let's go. We need to resample to this, and we'll go back. Oh, that did not work. We'll just chop it. Okay, that should have worked, but there's some silence at the end because of my mess up. So we'll just go zoom in right to where there's sound. That should work perfectly. All right, cool. There we go. So just to show you, this was the original sound from Sound Generator. This is the new one we did with some effects. And then once we add bus 3 and 4 as a sort of master effect, everything's gonna sound pretty different. So we'll go with that. But now let's get that pattern running. Yeah, there we go. I mean, what's synthwave without an arpeggio, right? So we've got to get that in. So I think we'll do that. And again, I'm going to just I always like having these backups to revert back to. And you can always delete things and undo and stuff, but it's kind of just a remnant from an older version of the SP404 Mark II workflow. So we'll just do that. But yeah, let's get that arpeggio in. And I think we'll do a heavy quantize on this one because, yeah, we're going to need it. Let's do 16. Oh man, I can't keep up on that one. But see, the quantize fixes it. But yeah, we'll start that over. Okay, let's go to record, quantize. Okay. I actually kind of liked a couple of mistakes I made. The quantize kind of makes it a little more unique, a little more interesting, so we'll keep it. Okay, now, let's get out of that. Let's put the bass on bus 2. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm thinking if we do maybe Kodama, not on bus 2. Not on bus 2. There we go. Okay, and let's just test maybe a slightly different. Okay, this is gonna get a little louder, so I'm gonna drop the volume a pinch. Add that secret sauce on the 404. My favorite bus 3 and 4 settings, cassette sim and compressor. It just kind of glues everything together. I don't have any sounds on the master on what's coming in. It's just this. So yeah, and I still want to get that little lead. Just quiet. There we go. All right, so I think that's basically where I want to end that song. We could do a little jam out. One of the really cool things about this setup, I mean, we're not even touching on Koala yet, and I have a whole video on the Koala integration. If you want to check that out, it's on my channel if you haven't seen it. But you can still, if we enable this, and let's go to a different app. Let's go to Saga Synth, another AudioKit Pro synth. Let's find something. What do we want? Not that. I just want a kind of chill pad. It's been a while since I've used this app. Not bad. Flute memory should be good. Let's go there, and let's drop the volume a little bit. So what we could do, if we wanted to, we can kind of, let's see. So let's actually start by just really quickly making a couple of patterns that we want. So I'm gonna go here, go to copy here, hit remain, because I only want, let's say, these two sounds, just the pads for that one. So now we just have the pads. And then let's go here and we'll copy this, hit remain. Let's get the kick and the hi-hat and those two. And then we'll do it one more time. And I'm thinking the arpeggio and that. So what we could do is we could start by just playing on this. And we could even have just the drums enter if we wanted to. I mean, that's another, actually let's try that sound. Let me try that one real quick with just having the drums come up and maybe that. And I might be getting ahead of myself, but what I could do or something is like filter that in or something. If I were to set this one off, actually that probably won't work with the limitations we have set for the bus routing, but let's just do this. So that's that sound. So let's hold this. Hit the wrong one, but you get the idea. Let's do that again and you'll see. The beauty of live, right? So we'll fade in. You can do something like that, and you can just keep playing on top. We can add things. Okay. So, again, we could just build this sequence, add a lot of variation. If we go into each one of these, we could add dropouts by going into TR-Rec mode. You don't have to redo all these things. You could go into TR-Rec mode, hit record. Let's go to the kick, and at the end, drop it out. Let's go to the snare, drop that, get the hi-hat. And let's add maybe a sub-step. So you can see you can add all these variations in the parts that you want to do and things like that, and all that. That's the beat making aspect of it, right? Now I just want to quickly talk about some apps and things like that that you can use. And the first one is actually pretty awesome. And again, I believe it's free. If not, it's still probably worth checking out. So if you go to this one, this is Tonally. I found this one a long time ago, but what this does, and I don't know if you can see it super well. Let me see actually if I can zoom in real quick on my stream. Hold on a sec. We'll try to get that to show better. But basically what you get is you get to set up your chords. Anthony asks, what's the synth app called that you're using on the iPad? That one was Saga Synth. AudioKit Pro, I believe it's free. It might be a couple bucks. It's been a while since I bought a lot of these apps, so some of them are free, some of them aren't. I know AudioKit has, Anthony, this one, King of FM, and I believe King of Bass are both free, and they say they'll remain free, so those are awesome. We use that for these sounds, and also, well, yeah, we used it for this piano sound, King of FM, and then this bass is King of Bass. So highly recommend checking those out. But tonally, this is a really cool app. I got some questions on my poll asking what apps I would recommend for iPad. And I don't know if these are on Android. I know somebody, I think it's MVM, is using Android. Some of these might be on there, so you can check it out. But you can set the key, whatever key you want to be in. So like I'm in A, and this is actually how I made this chord progression. You can go into each bar, and you can change what chord you want, and you can create modal chords or borrow chords. So if you want to say like I'm working in A minor, but I want the first chord to be A major, you just hit that, and if it's in this kind of colored thing, that means it's out of key, but I mean it might work. Let's see. You hit play. Oh, I gotta turn on external source. So that actually almost sounds cooler. That A major I actually really like, because I had it on A minor, and I actually made, I think it was a minor 11, and then I kind of changed things around. So once I made it, I exported the MIDI, but then I redid it because I wanted the human hand kind of off time thing, and then I changed the chords around a little bit. But this is a great way if you're kind of stuck trying to figure out where you want to make a chord progression or something like that. You can do it here. Or another thing you could do is make a chord progression or get an idea of a chord progression from ChatGPT, which I never really like the chord progressions it makes, but it's a good start point. You can plug it in here and then create new sounds from it. So like, let's say like if it came up with that A minor and I was like, actually I like the A major better, you just change it here. And then if you wanted to, you can export the MIDI, you can change the sounds, you can even just export the audio if you want to just sample flip it. But if you've got an iPad, just throw it into GarageBand, which is free of course, and you can mess with it, and there's all those different sounds from Alchemy and all those sounds, so you can get a really cool start point. You can also just play in chords. I mean, you don't have to use this, but tonally is really great if you've got writer's block or something like that. It helps a ton. Again, like I don't have a lot of time in the studio, and sometimes I'm very sleep deprived from dealing with a 9-month-old. So if I need to get an idea quick, or I know I can make something, but I can't get past that like little start point of the origin or the creation, I use this, and then it's just smooth sailing from there, or typically smooth sailing. So that's a really good one. Let's see, what else? Koala, not free, but I mean, if you know the channel, you know we love Koala here. And with this integration, you can already see it. All you need with any iPad that has USB-C is just C to C cable. You don't have to do that fumble with that adapter anymore and things like that. So that's all I've got. Let me just get this straight and back up. And you can see it's already set to now bus A through D is the Koala bus, or banks A through D, I'm sorry, are now the Koala banks. So Koala is, I think, $5, and then if you want to get all of the new features like stem split, which is huge if you're using the SP with it, and a couple other things, piano roll, and these really good effects, which with certain routing, I'm going to do a video on it, you can get basically, like, what is it, 9 effects banks by using these two together or something. That, I think, altogether is like $15, but together, this thing is like the dream team, so that's a really good one to check out as well. The Moog Model D is incredible sounding. I know if this is a paid one, I can't remember what it is, but you get a Model D in an iPad, and then you can do whatever you want with it. It even comes with some effects and things like that. That is loud, I apologize for that. Let me just drop the volume, and then we'll get out of that one. King of FM we went over, but lastly, I saved this one last, Paulstretch. So let me know in the chat if you're familiar with Paulstretch. This is a bit of an old app, program, whatever you want to call it, but it basically can turn any sound into like those 10-hour sleepy time mixes you hear on YouTube. So what I wanted to do, it's been a while since I've used this, so hopefully it works right, but what I'm gonna do is record in, when I find it, this. Maybe we'll pair it with this sound actually. Let me just pad link them. So now they'll play together, makes it a little easier. Let's just record that in with, I'm just looking if there's any effects that I want to have on there. Yeah, maybe, let's just get the SX reverb. Okay. You can see audio's going. Okay, we'll stop that. Oh, we just undid it. Yeah, this is what I mean that I haven't used it in a while, so we'll do it one more time. Okay, that should have stopped. So now if we hit play, you can choose the area you want it to be on. Let's do maybe that. And you can change how long you want the stretch. You can see it's moving. But that's just that sample that we put in. Now it's changing chords. You can re-pitch it. The last chord I'm not the biggest fan of in this ambient thing. So we can change the pitch. I actually like that. Let's drop it 5.1. Alright, and let's stretch it a little bit longer. Make that stretch a little bit bigger. There's all these effects you can do. We'll cut out some of the low end. Binaural we could do, but we're in mono, so it's not really going to work. But it is there. Now, what we're going to do, though, because some of you did vote for ambient, I don't want to leave you out. So, in that poll that we posted for this video. So, we're just turning the song we made into a quick drone, and then maybe we'll just quickly do some cuts and things, because I'm thinking just those first two chords might be the way to go. So let's record that in, and let's shut off the measure. And I have no idea what BPM this is, so we'll just shut off the metronome so we don't hear it. It's drone, we don't need a metronome, right? And then we're gonna just hit this and hit play. This might take a second. You can see the playhead moving. Because I think I added some more stretch, so it's taking a little time. We haven't even got to that second chord yet. There it is. Getting there. Okay, we'll stop there. I just want those two chords. Once I hear that borrowed chord, I know we're past it. Now, that baked in with those effects, we could have done even more effects to really lo-fi it. I'm going to quickly, so we don't blast our ears, lower that a bit. There we go. And let's really add some grit. Let's lo-fi that up, right? Let's go... And by the way, before we keep going, if you have any questions about the iPad or this workflow or anything like that, let me know. Also, I have an SP404 cheat sheet if you want an easy to reference, quickly navigate, quick start guide to everything SP404 and all the crazy button prompts and things like that. The link is in the description. Channel members on the channel get it as part of the membership. And you also get exclusive videos, vlogs, and then at the Solar Sailor tier, you get all of the samples. So if you want these samples we're making, head to the channel memberships. The join button's right, I think right below me. But yeah, it's right there. It helps the channel a ton. There's super chats as well. But if you have any questions, just hit me up in the chat while we're here, and I'll let you know. So what I'm gonna do, we've got lo-fi on here. Let's also add maybe 404. Really wow and flutter this. Okay, so we got to be patient because we're gonna have to resample this again. So it's gonna take a second, but it'll be worth it. And it's actually gonna get hit with the cassette sim and compressor again. I think I can just, yeah, take off my finger if I hit gate. So we just gotta let this run. Meanwhile, while we're waiting, if you've got questions, put them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them. Looks like we've got a couple more votes, 27 votes if you use iOS apps. 52% still saying yes, no 30%, I'm thinking about it 19%. Let me know if this has convinced you. I'm curious, or if any of these apps intrigue you, and if you're using different apps, let me know in the chat as well. We're always looking for new apps, right? And together we grow, so that's the way to do it. I think we're nearing the end of this. So once we hear that borrowed chord, that's when we'll know. Right there. Okay, we'll stop it there. All right. Now, this is going to be really loud, so I'm going to hit the knob, the enter knob, and press it so that it doesn't play, but it triggers it, so I can lower the volume. There we go, and then we'll just look at that waveform. That's because it got hit with all that cassette and compression from 2 resamples. I forgot to shut it, but that's okay. Let's just get right to the start point. And then we'll add a little attack, just a pinch. Okay, and then we'll just paste it because I'm gonna do chops. So it's only gonna be, you could do even granular chops with this now. So, I mean, we're gonna make a quick little ambient thing from Paulstretch, right? But if you've got samples or something that you wanna really get a crazy sound from, that maybe there's no copyright from it or something like that, this is a great way to just completely alter how a sample sounds, and from that you can then chop it into a synth basically. That's an option we could do too. Let me just quickly go to this one and find that other chord. Yeah, we'll just call it from there. And we just need to cut some of the end because I know we got that wrong note there. The SP is really struggling with this waveform because it's pretty long. By the way, if you hold roll, you can trigger just the end to hear what it sounds like. Then we're going to need a little more release on this one. Okay, and then this one we'll just put the end. Yeah, that's perfect. And we'll just add a little release there. So now we just made a 2-chord ambient track by just taking that original sample we had that we made in GarageBand. Let me go. This was it. Dropped the pitch, stretched it a crazy amount, and then we just chopped it into 2 chords. And now we can, just when we want to, move to the 2nd chord. Okay, so that's a quick thing for ambient, but from there even, you could take these sounds and throw some drums. Do we have one with just drums? Let's just, I don't know how this is going to sound, but just to show you something you could do, theoretically, we'll just take just the drums. This will probably sound really weird, but just to show you, if you needed new sounds or something. Bad actually. All right, so there we go. I think with that, we're gonna end it. I appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat. It's been a lot of fun. Great seeing those votes. If you're watching this back, I'll put some timestamps, and also if you've got questions, if you don't make it in the chat or you're watching this back, you have questions about the setup that I didn't answer or other apps that you would recommend that we all check out, let us know in the comments. Commenting helps a ton with the algorithm. It tells YouTube that this is a good video, I guess, or something, but so they'll show it more. But yeah, I hope this video helped. This was a lot of fun. I love this setup, and I hope that I showed you why in this, because it's really powerful. It's quick, easy. I'm going to be going to Switzerland in a couple weeks, and so with this, I mean, I'm not even going to bring the SP, but I can do so much in just the iPad, and then when I get back home, I could incorporate it into the DAW, or also just do it with this workflow, and you know, go anywhere with this workflow, because you could use a battery for this or just this cable. And then this, we've been at this for about an hour, and I had it at 100% battery. It's now at 85%, so it is draining, unfortunately, but it's not that bad. And I think that's because this is being powered, because when I didn't have a power on, you could still make this work, but man, the battery was just going. So I would definitely have the power supply. Be jamming since birth, welcome. Awesome. Great to see you, man. Sorry you missed it, but that's okay, man. He asked, what app is that? This is Paulstretch. So really quickly, I know you missed it, so I'll show you real quick. We took this sound that I made in GarageBand with King of FM, this piano, threw it through Paulstretch, and it made this really long stretched sound that I then chopped into 2 different sounds. So you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. And what I was saying is, with the USB-C, audio goes both ways. It can go out and in, so you don't need to do any sort of crazy configuration. Just having it plugged in, it just works, and it's awesome in that regard. So a lot of fun with that. Let's see. There was one thing I was going to mention, though, and I'm totally blanking now. Oh, yeah. Rally Car asked, do you have the Borderlands Granular app? It's an interesting take on granular synthesis using the touchscreen. I do not, Rally Car. Is that free or is it paid for? And if so, how much is it? Because I might check it out. But that does sound very intriguing. So yeah, this is the setup. It's awesome. Does anybody use Logic on iPad? I'm so tempted to use it. I just can't stand that it's subscription only. And I hope they make that not an issue. Yeah, and I can't see, there's a heart. It says there is another one that just dropped, Brick. What's that one, be jamming since birth? Brick, what does that one do? Let me know. That sounds, I like the name at least. Yeah, so I highly recommend everybody check out Tonally, though. I believe it's free. If not, it shouldn't be that much, but this thing is great for creating your chord progressions if you need some help with it. Rally Car says that Granular Borderlands is $15. Okay, so I'll try to check it out. Might be worth it. But yeah, Granular Synth is pretty sick, so that should be pretty cool. Yeah, with that, I think we'll call it here, though. If you missed some of the episode, just turn back and we'll see. Yeah. All right. So from there, I'm going to just quickly do a little jam with the track. I don't even remember the patterns we made, so I'm just going to go off of whatever. Tom says that subscription, I think he's talking about Logic, right, Tom? That the subscription turns you off of it. Exactly. That's why I haven't touched it. When I'm on that plane, I'm going to get the free month, so I'll report back what I thought of it, but it just drives me crazy that you can buy it for a one-time price on the computer and you get years of updates all included. Like Logic 11 just came out with the stem splitting. I covered that for sample flipping with the SP. All for free if you already own Logic 10, which came out in like 2013 or 2012. But for the iPad, you have to pay 20 bucks a month or something like that. It just doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, so yeah, Rally Car says, yeah, I use Logic, only really worth the subscription if you use it at least once a week. Interesting, yeah. So I'll report back to you all after my Switzerland trip, because I am gonna get Logic, because I'm hoping I can get, because I use Logic on the computer for some album work and stuff like that, so I'm hoping to maybe get some done there. But that's good to hear, or interesting to hear, Rally Car, that you think it's worth it, at least in terms of if you're using it a lot. I just don't like on the principle that monthly pay thing, but it's all right. There's so much cool stuff, and I mean, GarageBand is free, and they update that a ton too. So at least we have that. We use that today. It's all right. B Jammin' Since Birth says SP and iPad is a killer combo. I agree wholeheartedly. He also adds, yeah, the sub for Logic on iPad is a no-go. I know. I'm with you. They also add, I don't like it as much as the desktop version. Oh, do you mind posting why? I'm interested to hear. And Tatro, what's up? Been a minute. They just gifted 5 Sunwarper memberships. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. From that, though, I think we'll call it. But B Jammin' Since Birth, I'd love to hear your take on why you think it's not as good as the desktop version. Curious to hear. And Rally Car says, sure, if GarageBand does the job, just go with that. I agree. I mean, if it works, right? And the nice thing with this USB-C though, if you're using your computer, you can use Logic there, use the SP, and then move over, and you can use the iPad sounds kind of in addendum or in addition to it. So I love the USB-C. It's awesome, and I mean, it's a great way to do it. So there's ways around it. Tatro also says, great work, and thanks for the positivity on your channel. Thanks, Tatro. That means a lot, man. I hope you're doing well. Happy to see you. Tom says, safe travels. Thank you. So with that, we'll call it. And I don't even remember what patterns we put because we went on this whole ambient tangent and then all about the iPad stuff. But let's just see what we've got. And yeah, if you dig the channel, hit subscribe and check out the channel membership if you want these samples. Massive thanks to Tatro for gifting those 5. Let's go. Let's just see what we got. I'm going to just mute. And yeah, I'll see you next time.